right. All right. Good afternoon to everyone joining today from Japan, and good morning to everyone in Sri Lanka and everywhere else. Welcome. I hope you're all doing great. My name is Nimesh, and I am your MC for today's exciting event, Kakehashi Finals. As we all know, Kakehashi means building bridges. And on behalf of the Sri Lankan Professional Association in Japan, or SLPAJ, I welcome each and every one of you to this incredible platform. And today will always be about creating opportunities, forging connections, and building bridges between promising startups and visionary investors. We're thrilled to have such a dynamic group of startups with us here today. And congratulations on making so far to the Kakehashi Finals. And with that, without further ado, to officially kick off our event, um, I'd like to introduce Deela Haturusinghe, the president of SLPAJ, who will give us an introduction to Kakehashi and SLPAJ as a whole.
Hello, thank you, Nimesh, and hello, everyone. Um, it's a pleasure to share a few words today at the Kakehashi Finals 2024. As an association, SLPAJ, at SLPAJ, our core mission is to create opportunities and create value addition to all of our stakeholders, including Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan community here in Japan. Over the last 3 years, we've been doing this Kakehashi program, and over the last 3 years, through this Kakehashi program, we were able to bridge the Sri Lankan startup ecosystem with different global opportunities, be it access to accelerator programs, mentorship, or even potential investments. Um, so I'm pretty sure I'm very confident that Kakehashi 2024 will also bring in such opportunities to all of the uh, startups registered with the Kakehashi program for 2024. So I'm not going to take much time today because we have a long agenda for the day. But I want to give a shout out to all of our support partners. Who helped us to make the Kakehashi program a success, and also to the Sri Lankan embassy here in Japan. They've been very supportive, and also to all the incredible startups that registered with the Kakehashi program this year. And also, I want to give a special shout out to the uh, SLPAJ dedicated members, especially the startup, the Kakehashi project members led by Shahir. So I'm not going to take much time, like I said, but I want to say that thanks a lot for being part of this journey. And also, we will be doing Kakehashi 2025 as well. So let's keep in touch. I'm very excited about the future. I hope everyone will enjoy the event today. Like I said, we will be doing the Kakehashi 2025, so let's keep in touch and we will announce the details in the near future. Thanks a lot, and I hope everyone will enjoy the event today.
Thank you so much, Deelaka. With that, to briefly go over the proceedings to the agenda for today's event, to so that you also have an idea of as to what the progress will look like, what the process will look like. After Deelaka's introduction today, we also have our guest of honor, Ms. Sesa Tambugala, who will deliver her speech. And of course, after that, we'll get into a little bit of an introduction about our judges who are present here today. And with that, we'll start the final pitches by each of our startups. And while the deliberations happen with regards to the final result, we will move forward with a panel discussion where you will have an opportunity to learn a little bit more about Japan, perhaps about the startups ecosystem in Japan. And finally, the much awaited results, and we'll close with the closing notes. All right, with that, and of course, without much further ado, I'd like to cordially invite Ms. Sesat Thamlugala, guest of honor, charge of the affairs at the Sri Lankan Embassy in Tokyo. Ms. Thamlugala has been a pillar of strength and success and support for the Sri Lankan community and SLPAJ in our efforts here in Japan. Unwavering dedication and commitment have played a very crucial role in our success and in our growth as an organization, but also as a community. And we're delighted to have you with us here today. So please take the stage.
Thank you, Nimesh. Good afternoon to you all. You all joining from Japan, and to those who are joining from Sri Lanka, good morning. First of all, I want to thank the SLPAJ for inviting the embassy to join this event, which is the flagship program of SLPAJ. Sri Lanka Professional Association and the embassy, we've been working very close on several projects, but I believe this is one of the key projects where the true nature of the professionals have been able to come out, where they have carved a niche for themselves and they want to pave the way for the future generation. So, from the point of view of the embassy, we really appreciate this effort that you all are taking as a team. Uh, One of the things I wanted to say is that we as an embassy, especially our embassies have limited resources. So sometimes when we get approached by many companies, we want to enter into the Japanese market. How do we do that? One of the biggest challenges we have is, even if we know the product is good, how do they present it? Because without having the background information, having the knowledge, how do I pitch to a Japanese investor or any global platform? It is quite crucial. So platforms such as this, I believe, gives the impetus for companies to, even if they are not selected today, I'm looking forward to listening to all of you. But even if you are not selected, I believe the 2.5 months process has given a lot of workshops, a lot of knowledge for you all to understand as a startup, how do you come across to the world? What needs to be said? How do you package your product to an outsider who does not know, or to um, incite them to believe in your vision, what you want to market to the world? So, this program, I think, has had a lot of partnerships with Slascom, ICTA, and I'm happy to see Jethro also joining the program, where they are also promoting high skilled labor and investment from Sri Lanka and back and forth. So it's a platform where a lot of people have come together, putting their effort to showcase the Sri Lankan products. And I'm also happy to see that 5 companies which are in health tech, AI to software solutions have been selected today. Without much speech from my side, I look forward to listening to all of you and to see how the day evolves. So, wish you all the best. And thank you so much, SLPAJ, for inviting the embassy always for this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Namagal. As always, really appreciate your support and for you being here, taking time out of your weekend to be with us here today. And with that, we also have a very esteemed panel of judges with us here today who will be taking on the deliberations and the scoring with regards to the startups or pioneers within this space, both in Japan and Sri Lanka. And to introduce them, I'd like to cordially invite Nilakatru Singha. He's an advisor to the SLPAJ. He's also been a part of SLPAJ for the longest time, and he is the head of foreign operations at Striders Corporation Japan, and a whole lot more. But I'll let him take on the virtual stage.
Thanks, Nimesh. Thank you very much. I think it's a pleasure for me to introduce all the distinguished guests. We have 4 guests joining today. First one is Mr. Sharad, and then Asant from the ACP Asset Management. So they are based out of Australia and Colombo. They are one of the largest leading, I would say, investment firms in Sri Lanka. I'll let Asant and Sharad to speak after my introductions, give it like a brief introduction. And then we have Mr. Hirayama from ICMG. ICMG is one of the largest intellectual property based consulting firm plus a venture capital firm. Hirayama-san is based out of Singapore, and he's an expert or a specialist in impact investments. And then we have Basnet, Mr. Basnet from Mirai Consulting. Mirai Consulting is a consulting firm that is really focused on providing consultant services for SMEs in Japan, and especially in the local regional areas. And they have been quite, and he has been really supportive to startup ecosystem, and he has been working with companies like Crew, which is one of the largest accelerator programs in the world. So I think after this, I'll let each judge to give a brief introduction about yourself, and then see what you are hear what you are looking forward for today's event. Maybe Sharad, over to you.
Thank you, Nelika, and thank you to the entire team for putting the event on today. It's a pleasure to be with you all. Very briefly, ACP Asset Management was founded in 2010. We are a regulated fund manager in Australia and in Sri Lanka. Our main fund is listed in Vienna. Group AUM is about 170 million US dollars as of today, and balance sheet investments are about 80 million US dollars. We primarily pitch ourselves as a single country manager with a focus on Sri Lanka, but we do have assets and investments across the region, and in conjunction with various partners, including Striders, Vena Capital, Birla Asset Management, and a few others. In Sri Lanka, for example, we are majority shareholders in Millennium IT, which is an IT group. We are also 10% shareholders of Ceylon Bank and DFCC Bank, respectively. We're also a majority shareholder of Ambion Capital and Holdings, in conjunction with two other investors, being Arvinda De Silva and Ajit Deva Surendra. So that's a little bit about us. We look forward to learning a little bit more about the rest of the presenters, and nice to be here. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Sharad. Asant, if you want to add on to Sharad, so would you?
Sure. Thanks, Nilika. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to be a judge. I'm the Chief Investment Officer of ACP Asset Management and look after generally our investments across various sectors. I predominantly focus on both our private investments through our family office and private markets, as well as some of the listed equity investments that we do. As Sharad mentioned, in the tech space, we have investments across multiple jurisdictions from Europe through to US and Asia. So interested to learn more about the
Thanks, Asant. Just to add on to Sharad and Asant, Striders, a Japanese company, my company, we have co-invested with them for one of the Sri Lankan IT companies called Cultivate, and we are helping them to come on from Sri Lanka to Bangladesh and stuff like that. Okay, I think it's over to Hirayama-san now from ICMG.
Hi, America. Thanks so much. Yeah, the one interesting thing is, he's now working in Striders, but also being a capital, which their office is actually right next to our office in Singapore. That's how we met, and then I'm very pleased to be invited to these programs. ICMG itself is started like 25 years ago as a consulting firm, but because our client is almost like all the Japanese large corporates, and then recently their expectation has been increasing in terms of expanding their business into India, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Southeast Asia, and also Africa as well. So that's why we decided to have our own VC and CVC for the Japanese corporates. And I personally do startup investment into India mainly, but also other Southeast Asia as well. And yeah, priority is mainly co-create the business for startups, but also for our Japanese corporate clients. So I guess some of the Sri Lankan startups is trying to expand their own business into other countries, hopefully I can do some support, advice, anything. Yeah, and also looking forward to hear the latest new business models from you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Han. Other than being neighbors in Singapore, I think we have co-invested together into one of the companies in Bangladesh, Medizi, a very interesting company. It's very good. Okay, I think I'll leave it to Basnet now. Mr. Basnet.
Hi guys, thank you for inviting me to become a judge. So I'm currently in Mirai Consulting in Japan. We have 25 branches all over Japan and 8 branches, I believe, from China, Southeast Asia, and now in Bangladesh as well. We're currently expanding much more rapidly in the South Asian department, including India and Sri Lanka as well. Me, I'm personally from Nepal. My hometown's in Kathmandu, but I've been working in this company for almost 3 years right now. And Mirai Consulting, one of our portfolio companies called Crew, is one of the biggest open innovation platforms in Japan. I was seconded to Crew for a year and a half, in which I headed Real Madrid's one and only accelerator with Asia. I also received a lot of support from SLPAJ, and a few Sri Lankan startups also applied, which I'm grateful for. But for today, I'm excited to hear all of the contestants and what do you guys plan to do in Japan. And hopefully, with our connections in the regional side of Japan, maybe we can create some kind of collaboration as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Basnet. A very interesting company. Mirai Consulting, very unique strategy because they are trying to match the local Japanese SMEs with the global companies, which is very good for countries like us. If you have good products to bring into Japan, I think they might be able to be the bridge. Thank you very much. And that's the introduction of the judges. Nimesh, over to you.
Thank you so much, gents, for being here with us today. Really appreciate your time and looking forward to more. But with that, let's move on to the main highlight of our event, the startup pitches. Before we get into it, just to remind you of how we've set it up, we'll have 5 minutes initially for the pitch, and we'll have a Q&A session followed by that, which will be up to 7 minutes. And with that, I am delighted to introduce our first startup pitching today, Opta Innovations, a pioneering medtech startup dedicated to revolutionizing the early detection of diabetic retinopathy through AI-powered solutions. Over to you guys.
Thank you so much. Can I share my pitch?
Yep.
Can you give me the permission?
Yes, let me stop sharing and...
I think you can see my pitch deck now. Okay. So I'm Dr. Dhanushi Hettiarachchi, CEO and co-founder of Opta Innovations. Let me share one of my case studies. I met this young patient who was suffering from diabetes for 4 years. Initially, he didn't experience any eye-related symptoms, so he didn't go for any eye checkups. But later, now he's losing his vision due to diabetes. So his life has been turned upside down. He cannot continue his job. He can no longer see his kids' faces. This can happen to any one of us because it's the #1 cause for the blindness among working adults. Half a billion of world population is at risk of having this condition. And most of them are South Asians. And we don't have enough doctors to screen this condition. And we don't have a convenient way to detect this condition. So here comes this convenient way, Opta. Opta is an AI-based system to detect diabetic retinopathy at early stages with a specificity of 97%. So now with Opta, you can get an automatically generated report about your current diabetic retinopathy condition just after doing the fundoscopy test. So this saves your time, money, and also reduces the workload for the doctors. Globally, this is a $1 billion market. And initially, we are stepping into the Sri Lankan market. And we see, I must highlight that this is an untapped market. So we are making sure people don't lose their vision just because they couldn't get screened in time. This helps to improve healthcare access and especially in underserved areas, supporting global goals like better health, innovation, and reducing inequalities. So simply put, we make eye care smarter, more affordable, and available to everyone who needs it. In financial terms, we have very profitable unit economics with a higher compound annual growth rate. And in our business model, we partner with the opticians and eye care centers, opticians, eye care centers, and also healthcare centers. And also we provide the direct customer service. Behind Doctor, we have a strong team consisted of medical doctors and biomedical engineers and business strategists. And also we are backed by a strong advisory board who have deep domain knowledge. In terms of our achievement, we got funding from Japanese government agencies. And throughout the time, they have been continuously monitoring our progress. Not only that, we have published 2 research papers in international biomedical conferences validating our technology. In terms of traction, we have established pilot partnerships with 2 leading opticians in Sri Lanka and also an international partnership with the Japanese fundoscopy manufacturer. Also, we are having ongoing discussions with Optimax, the leading optician in Malaysia. Most importantly, we have gained endorsement from the College of Ophthalmologists in Sri Lanka. So today, my ask is $120,000 for the business development and the market expansion and also the R&D purposes. So finally, I invite all of you to join with us for the mission of eradicating diabetic retinopathy and providing sustainable eye care. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dhanushi. With that, we'll open the floor to Q&As. If you could raise your hand, I could unmute you and we can move forward with the question.
Hi. Yeah, thank you, Danish. It's good, very, very good presentations. Could you a bit more explain about the business model in terms of how you solve the pains? I think you are not only providing AI diagnostic technologies, but also you try to kind of shorten the value chain for the patient by providing your technologies into lab tests as well as hospitals, like how the all the process has been shortened and being effective to kind of make a value to who?
Yeah. So currently, if you want to check this condition, we have the process fundoscopy testing. So, but the problem is we don't have enough ophthalmologists to do this test. So, as an example, in Sri Lanka, we have around 4 million diabetic patients, but we have only 120 ophthalmologists. So, we don't have enough ophthalmologists. So, what we are doing is we will allow them to get a fundoscopy test. Then we will allow them to upload it to our system, and then we will get an automatically generated report there. So it will say that whether they have diabetic retinopathy or not, and also they will tell what are the pathologies. So it will help. I mean, as for all the diabetic patients, it's a must to have yearly eye checkup for the diabetic retinopathy. So people can directly go to the fundoscopy centers and get this test done. They don't want to go to a doctor and get the prescription or get the idea about this condition. If they only have this condition, they have to go to a doctor. So there we partner with the fundoscopy centers, I mean eye care centers and also healthcare providers where there are fundoscopes. So we will give this, we will charge $1 per test for opticians, they can charge whatever they want, allocating this $1 for the as the charge dates. So what we are trying to achieve is we want to screen all the people. We want to give the chance for all the people to access for this facility. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Is
Sorry.
there, sorry, Sharad here. Sorry,
No, you can please go ahead. Thank you.
yeah, just to understand two things. Is there a lot of hardware that's required in addition to what already is existing in the existing clinics, or how does that work exactly?
So there's a fundoscopes. It's a hardware, but the problem is there are many fundoscopes but we are not using them to detect diabetic retinopathy, because a doctor has to come and give the comments about the report. No. So what we are doing is going to do is we are providing a software. So there, after getting the fundoscope image, we directly upload it to our system.
And are you confident on the pricing model of $1? And have you had much traction on that to date?
So at the moment, we are charging $1 per test, but we can go up to $5 per test.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I had a question. So I'm sorry, I'm not very well informed about this sector in itself. Are there any competitors, international competitors, with products such as yours, or are you guys the only ones in the market with your product?
Yeah, but there are competitors, but not many. So the unique value proposition that we have is we have a higher specificity, and also we are not brand dependent. We first, as the initial price, we give it as for a $1 per test, where we can go up to $5 per test. And also we give a detailed output including pathologies, which ultimately helps the doctors to detect the treatment option.
I see. Thank you.
Okay, Basnet. We do have time for one or two more questions.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I was just looking, and interestingly, there seems to be a competitor called INUK, who has FDA approval as well. Do you have any comments on them and how your product differs from them? And the second question I had is, in terms of FDA approval, is that required to for the product to be commercialized in South Asia, or is that not required?
So the difference is we are giving detailed output. As I mentioned earlier, we give the comments about the pathologies like microaneurysm, hemorrhages, exudates. There are different stages of this diabetic retinopathy. So in our report, we separately marked all those pathologies in the retinal image. So that's the basic difference among us. And the second question, can you repeat the second question, please?
Yeah, the second question was, is FDA approval required to commercialize this in South Asia?
In South Asia, it's not mandatory because this is a software for it's mandatory. FDA, this like regulatory approval for the is mandatory for the these hardware devices. For a software product, we don't want it, but we have to comply with the National Data Protection Act, and also we have to align with the HIPAA and also the other Data Protection Act in the UK in the European region. So that's all. And also in Sri Lanka, we have got the letter from the NMRA approving that thing. Even it's same in the other Asian countries, South Asian region.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much again for the lovely presentation, for taking the time today. Let's swiftly move on to the next startup pitch. Let me share my screen again very briefly. All right. Then next up on the virtual stage, so to speak, we have Syntax Genie. Is a technology-driven company specializing in advanced energy monitoring and control solutions, optimizing energy consumption through predictive analytics and real-time insights. The virtual stage is all yours.
Thanks, Nimesh, and thanks SLPAJ for organizing this. I'll share my screen. Right. I'll get started. Good afternoon to those who are joining from Japan, and good morning to the folks in Sri Lanka. My name is Subodha Charles. I'm the CEO of Syntax Genie. I'll walk you through the oversight product that we have that's mainly looking at AI-driven energy management. So when you look at the several parts of the world, people still struggle with a lack of access to electricity. And especially if you pay attention to Africa, the percentage of connectivity to the grid, it's at a very low stage. You take countries like Malawi, Niger, it's very less. And it's about 1/4 of Africans use some sort of electricity other than the national grid. And depending on the country, this of course can change. One solution for electrifying these rural areas is to develop mini grids. It's typically a combination of solar PV, wind, and some sort of energy storage system like a battery backup. In addition to electrifying rural areas, mini grids can also be used to electrify individual factories, commercial buildings, and even residences. When you look at distributed energy resources, currently the world is moving towards that. So whether it's rural or whether it's urban, mini grids have an application. One issue with mini grids, or one challenge with mini grids, is the high capex, especially for the battery backup. When you look at the cost breakdown of a mini grid, the battery backup consumes a lot of the capital investment that goes into a mini grid. So we started looking into how can we address this. As a result, we partnered with both Sri Lankan as well as companies from the UK, and we got funding from UK Research and Innovation to develop a pilot mini grid in Colombo initially. The objective here is to do predictive analytics and look at the power generation as well as the power consumption and develop the machine learning models to optimize how we are using the generated power. For example, if you know that you're going to use X amount of kilowatt hours tomorrow, you can store a similar amount in your battery backup today and use it tomorrow. Without predictive analytics, you can't do that. So therefore, what most people do is they oversize their batteries and they oversize their infrastructure. But if you can predict with precise accuracy, even if it's say around 90%, then that leads to a lot of savings in terms of optimizations in the capital investment that goes into a mini grid. So this is a high-level architecture of what the mini grid looks like. We have the energy generation side of things, monitoring, and control. The smart devices, they gather information about the energy consumption, and we feed that information to machine learning models, which takes into account things like weather data, system parameters, and tries to predict the energy generation as well as the energy consumption. We also developed a SCADA system with that. So this is what the software looks like, and that comes with a mobile application as well. In our deployments, we've reduced the battery capacity requirement by somewhere around 15 to 20%, and we've reduced the reliance on fossil fuels and, of course, carbon emissions as well. Currently, we've done one installation in Colombo, and another is currently being done at Rajarata University of Sri Lanka, funded by the Asian Development Bank. So the uniqueness of our solution is that it's an end-to-end solution. We've built everything from scratch, the software, the hardware, and we actually designed the circuits as well of some of the monitoring components. And one of the main challenges that we had is to combine these different protocols, because every device, like you take inverters, you take some of the smart devices, they communicate in their own protocols. How to get all of that in one place was a challenge, which we overcame. We also paid attention to compatibility and interoperability, because we cannot say that our setup works in this one only one use case. So it has to be generalized, has to be scalable and adaptable. The business model is we have developed the technology so far through grant funding. So we've received about $2.5 million in grant funding for different energy related R&D. Once we did this R&D, the next step is of course to go to market. So licensing, pay as you go and subscription models are our main revenue generators. There are competitors in the market, as you can see. Our positioning will be in terms of our capability to customize. So we can target like very specific use cases and provide solutions for that. And our solution is comprehensive and it's cost effective as well. In addition to having this main mini grid application as a whole, the technology that we developed as a part of it can be broken down and deployed as required. For example, we have a smart meter dashboard. We have smart plugs, which allows you to control individual appliances, air conditioners. That gives you insights beyond your monthly energy bill. So our ask is to enter markets with low-hanging fruit, and currently we are planning to do a battery energy storage system pilot that will cost around $100,000. Why are we in this market? We started our first company, which is Altavision, another company in 2012, which does rooftop solar PV installations. So the problems that we identified through that operation is what trickled down into the software operation. So this is the leadership, myself and Rachita. I'm an embedded systems PhD and Rachita is a power systems person. So thank you for the opportunity to present here today. And I look forward to the questions and any further follow-ups. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Subodha. Let's open up the floor for questions. We have 7 minutes from now.
Hi, Subodha Shahid here. Just to understand the financial offering again, it wasn't, if you could just expand on that a little bit.
Do you mean like how we are generating revenue, the numbers? Is that what you were referring to?
Combination of, at the moment, do you have much revenue in this particular business? I mean, you've done a few things and maybe I missed it, but in regards to what you're seeking in regards to funding as well, so.
Yes. So the current mini grid deployment, it costs around $50,000, the capex, right? And then it generates revenue of around 6,000 to 7,000 annual, right? So that's the current deployment that we have. In addition to the mini grid deployment, as I was saying, our company, because we have the infrastructure, we've started giving services to other companies who require energy monitoring solutions. So it's not a mini grid. We take like individual components. For example, we are working with a few companies in Africa to develop a monitoring solution for that. So we generate revenue through those kind of activities as well, not just the mini grid. Does that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, thank you so much, Sabota. So yeah, just I was not informed well, I guess, to imagine the persona of your customers. So I think your business model is not like just providing hardware and software in this small scale in terms of like as a form of mini grid, which is more like scalable, bigger, kind of making an ecosystem where you can optimize, predict the energy well. But who are the customers? You mentioned some of the corporates, but just want to imagine how that customers can be scalable. Scaling your business, and also you show the macro landscape in Africa. And actually, I used to live in Kenya and then doing investment as well. Like if you give, there are many corporates doing this kind of service, not startup per se because of capex issues. How you are looking at African market while also pursuing in Sri Lanka? What kind of synergies you are finding out right at this moment?
Yeah, I'll start with the last question, Ray. Thank you for that. In the African market, we have not deployed any mini grid so far. We've made some initial inroads into that, where we are providing services to African energy companies. So we have plans for the future to deploy the mini grid in those areas. about customers, it can be so the rural villages, they will not be the people paying for this. So it'll either be subsidized through grant funding or the utilities, or we have the independent power producers or the energy services companies. Those are our main clients because they do the mini grid installations anyway, and our solution makes the capex go down. That's the unique selling point in this case. So we partner with them and they will be the channel partners or they'll be a joint venture, whatever the method, we go into markets with that angle. So yeah, we mainly provide energy monitoring and management services. That's the approach that we are taking right now.
Like what is the kind of differentiators compared to other, just not like compared to other corporates who do this? I think as a startup, there should be some scalabilities with the certain cost, with the high revenues, growing revenues. And then yeah, I think yeah, if you can also talk about that, that would be good.
Sure. Yeah. So our unique selling point is again the reduction of the capex. That's the main thing. And about the revenue scalability, we can offer the monitoring and management solutions one on a subscription basis. That's an option. And let's assume that you save some X amount of energy as a result of monitoring, right? And part of that can be our income, and the part of that benefit goes back to the end customer. So these are some of the models that we are experimenting with right now.
Thank you.
Fantastic. We do have a couple more minutes.
And Subodha, what's the cost that you'd be charging, I guess, your customers? Does it depend on segment and what type of customer, or how have you looked at pricing that?
Yeah, it actually depends on the segment and also the capacity of the installation, Ashant. So in the example that I gave you, the existing mini grid, we are generating about $6,000 to $7,000 annually. So that is energy that we sell, and that is the income for the energy sold, right? And then in addition to that, if we don't own the mini grid, then that will be a percentage as a subscription, like I said, because the mini grid will be owned by someone else, and we provide the services to manage it. It can be a one-time sale as well, because anybody who's doing like an energy system, they do a SCADA, a supervisory control and data acquisition system, together with that. So we build the SCADA. So we sell the SCADA either on a subscription basis or on a one-time cost, if we don't own the mini grid in that case. Yes.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think we can take one more quick question if all right. Looks like we don't have any more questions, so let's wrap it up. With that, thank you so much, Subodha, for taking the time today. It was a lovely presentation. And with that, let's swiftly move on to our next startup. Give me one quick second. All right, with that, we have our next startup, Effects.ai, a startup that streamlines document workflows with AI-powered automation, reducing processing time up to 90% and eliminating manual inefficiencies in data extraction, classification, and verification. Please go ahead.
Hello, let me share my screen.
Yes, please.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. But
Okay.
you're not. There you go. All right, we're back.
Nice. Okay. So I'm Aruna Vitanage. I'm CEO of Effects.ai. So basically, we save time and reduce errors by automating document workflows using AI. So problems. So basically, many document tasks that you do in front of a computer require manual human work. Example, data extraction, data entry, and comparison. This manual human cognitive work is slow, error-prone, and hard to scale. Also, workflows are often complex and unique for each company. So as a solution, we have developed eFlow, an affordable tool that automates complex invoice processing. It uses AI to extract data from invoices and make smart decisions. Our system works with different AI models, both online and offline. It ensures accuracy while keeping costs low. We use visual language models to capture and understand invoice data, and we use language models to understand workflows. And also, specifically, we fine-tune or adapt AI models based on user data. So GenAI enable processing with reasoning. So now with GenAI, we can automate human cognitive work. So regarding the market size, the current market size actually is like 20 billion, but due to new capabilities unlocked, but with GenAI, it will grow exponentially. It could be hundreds of billion dollars, even trillions. Nobody knows the upper line limits. So verticals. So we currently focus on large companies in Sri Lanka, and we currently focus on finance and traction. So currently we deployed our tool in Akrabada, Sri Lanka, and Chitra, USA. In addition, we have about 4 ongoing projects with few Sri Lankan companies as well. And regarding the competition, yes, we in Sri Lanka, we live in Sri Lanka, but these leading tools are available in Sri Lanka as well. So so we had to directly compete with them from the very first day. So many of these tools are too expensive for Sri Lanka. Even for the use cases that are kind of economically viable, these general solutions fail to capture complex workflows. For example, if you have to pull data from a data source and do some complex matching against invoices, these general tools usually fail. So our tool is designed specifically for such use cases. So even though some also using LLMs, we offer better customization because we are focused on invoice processing. And also, as I mentioned earlier, we are adapting or fine-tuning AI models based on the customer data. And also we offer offline capabilities. So actually our goal was to create an affordable solution for complex workflows, and offline capability actually came naturally from our design. So regarding revenue model, so basically our revenue model is licensing fees, customizing fees, and maintenance fees for customizations. So why us? So we provide better value for money, and we provide deep domain integrations where like many general tools fail, and we can go fully offline if needed. So regarding the leadership, I'm Aruna Vitanagi, I'm the CEO, and I have about 15 years of experience in software industry. I'm the CEO of a Suscom member company as well. And also Nilan also has about 5 years experience in software industry. And we are about 6-person team. And also in addition, it's our full-time permanent staff. In addition, we collaborate with various researchers for R&D. So regarding the roadmap, we are currently consolidating in local market, and from next year, we are planning international expansions. So regarding the financial forecast, with new values unlocked by GenAI, we can grow exponentially. So example use cases will be understand, extract data from invoices, create invoices from emails, cross-validate certificates, and document generation. We are currently fully focused on invoice processing in finance workflows, and we plan to tap into other verticals and other markets as well. And regarding funding requirement, we expect like $350K US for the next phase of expansion, as we are an AI company, so we need to have like sizable budget for R&D. In addition, also we have allocated substantial amounts for sales and product as well. So thank you very much, and we are open for questions. Any questions?
Yeah, two questions. Just could you run me through your current pricing model? You said that you're more competitive than your competitors. So what would you charge Akbar Brothers and Chitra for what you're providing them, number one? And you said that you're looking for $350,000. Is there a percentage of the company that you wish to divest as well, or is it just grant money? And finally, could you just touch on how much revenue you've generated in year 2024 to date, 25?
That's good. So number one, regarding our revenue. So usually, if you want to, if this business to be kind of viable in Sri Lanka, per page, we cannot charge more than 5 rupees. If we charge, what happen? You can use a human being and get the work done. So for per page, we charge 4 rupees. But in international markets, actually, because we can offer full offline solutions as well, so we can actually charge a premium. And number two, regarding the revenue for this year, so for our first year was 2023, and we kind of spent R&D on that. We didn't have a revenue, and this year 25, so we have received about 4 million LKR revenue from our customers. And regarding, excuse me, what is the other question you asked?
I was just
regarding the investment, right? Yeah, we are happy to give a percentage of our shares for the investment. And regarding the investments, also we have allocated R&D, sales and marketing for products, sizable amounts, because we are an AI company. We have to spend a lot in R&D. For example, we are currently relying on LLMs like OpenAI or else on-prem LLMs like Lalama. But we want to replace that with very small models, very small reasoning models. For that one, we need R&D. And also we have plans to integrate reasoning into our data capture area as well. So then one model will be able to do the data capture and do the reasoning and provide the final output as well. So currently we are using visual language models to extract data, and language models to provide the reasoning for the complex workflows. And we have plans to combine that two and develop models that can do that part. And it will
Thank you.
further down the cost, and will be much more competitive. For example, these competitors, they are like general solutions. We already, because we were able to come to the market because we can offer better solutions than them.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I have a question as well. So our consulting firm, we also have a BPO unit and quite a number, like we've created a separate joint venture with another Japanese firm as well. And we're also looking towards maybe increasing our workforce overseas, for example, South Asia as well. And I can see that your company and your tech has Japanese flavor, but according to like your future maybe milestones that you're planning, there's not much any I'd say plans to come to Japan or
Actually, we have plans. Like when I mean international, like Japan, also a target as well. If we get a chance to expand to Japan, because we haven't expanded to US, Europe, or any other country much. So if we get a chance to expand to Japan, so we can do that actually. So currently we are in the process of consolidating the local market now. So if we get a lead from Japan, yes, we can prioritize Japan. So yeah.
Understood. Yeah. Apart from the language barrier, I think this does have a lot of potential. But yeah, looking forward to what you guys can maybe achieve in the next few milestones, I'd say.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we actually solved the problem in a kind of a different way. So we could offer solutions in Sri Lanka. So that's what really happened. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have any?
And I guess I don't know, just a question in US and other markets, there's other solutions like DocSumo and Microsoft and all these other guys. And I guess they are backed by large VCs, etc. How do you anticipate you can compete in these larger markets outside, I guess, Sri Lanka?
Yeah, that's a good question, Asant. Actually, AI is very asymmetric because when we go to these unique workflows, there are so many opportunities. Startups like us can innovate because we did this one also with very little funding. I did the seed funding. Very little amount of time we did this innovation. We were able to do this innovation because we had no any kind of choice. Either we provide a solution with a lower cost, or else there's no sales for us. So we innovate this, and we have a path to innovation as well based on we focus on small AI models. So it's an area that we can really go in hard, and just because you have some money, you won't be able to flood the market like that because you know what happened with OpenAI and DeepSeek, right? So it's like that in small niches, startups can really really turn the table. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Otherwise, they
adding
could
to
have
that.
done this already, no?
Yeah, just adding to that, the additional value addition from our end is the domain-specific customization and the cost-effective way of providing the service. Like as you mentioned, there are like very large companies in the US and European market, which are basically workflow automation companies itself before they even face the LLM era, but they are not that cost effective. Like they are directly utilizing the LLM or VLM models. We have even started from that, and we have optimized. Actually, yes, just to say like we are actually like a half the price range from the competitors providing such services. And in the Sri Lankan market, the customer base we have addressed, they were already using such automation tools. I'm not mentioning their names. Like they already tried out and they have failed. Like there are in some cases, the error rate is beyond 90% because the workflow is very custom and it's complex. So that's where we come in. We have a framework, we have a base product. On top of that, we uh, provide a customized workflow particular to that client. So it's more error tolerant and cost effective.
Thank you. And what's
Not
your, I
only
guess, in
the
the Sri Lankan market, how do
yeah.
you pitch? What's your sales strategy at the moment? How do you pitch to corporates, or do you have a strategy or a funnel that you're pitching to corporates at the moment?
Yeah, so basically for pitch actually, so we unless it is like less than 5 rupees, so many of these tools doesn't like make any sense. You can hire a human being and do the work. So we provide the below that amount. And also this is not only cheap, like we can provide fully offline solutions. So because of that one, it doesn't have a much value in Sri Lanka, but fully offline for fully offline solutions, there will be value in US and European and Japanese market. For that, actually, we can charge a premium.
Yeah, and within the Sri Lanka, where we mainly acquire clients use calling and networking. So that's our main strategy in Sri Lanka, and we go to networking events, like talk to the leaders and showing our yeah.
Right.
Yeah, some of these tools also provide offline support, but it's not an end-to-end offline support. So for the OCR extraction, they provide offline support, but for the workflow part, they don't. So we can provide the fully fully full offline workflow.
All right.
Yeah, just to put a like pricing comparison, like the OpenAI VLM model itself will cost around like bare minimum is like 40 rupees in Sri Lankan rupees to use a VLM model to extract document information. So we are doing it less than 5 rupees. So we are not fully utilizing the VLM. That's where we come in. Like we have we have our own model, as well as we are integrating other external tools as well. The way we understand and analyze the document is what's our value addition. Like we don't like 100% rely on a VLM or LLM model. We only use VLM and LLM where we need it.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. In the interest of time, let's wrap it up for now and move on to the next pitch. But
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thank you for the
Fantastic,
opportunity.
fantastic.
It's nice talking to everyone. Yeah, thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for the insightful presentation. With that, let's move on to our next startup and their pitch, bringing forward ProLogic's IT solutions. Please take on the stage. In the interest of time, let's move on quickly as well, so that I won't take too much time sharing the screen.
Okay.
All right, Chatura, thank you.
Good afternoon, all. I'm Chatura. I will share my screen. Yes, hope you all can see my screen, right? We ProLogic's IT solutions. What we are doing is we develop a streamlined and resource management solution for SME manufacturers. We call it iMake, which means manufacturing, automation, knowledge, and efficiency. We need to take all together in one platform. That's what we are trying to do. So when it comes to the purpose in the market, we need to have a smart manufacturing ecosystem for material management, procurement, inventory, and production traceability. Especially, this will required for MSMEs and small medium entrepreneurs who do manufacturing. That's where we need to pitch. Then the problem, when it comes to the problem statement, the most of the systems in the existing market are more complex, and it's really hard to train the staff, and you have to put a lot of resources, even the investment and the hardware resources. You have to put a lot of resource to keep the existing management systems. So they have huge capital expenditure, very high time to implement and train, and it's not easy to train the system to your staff. Especially this is a big problem when it comes to the small and medium entrepreneurs who do manufacturing. So our solution, we want to bridge this gap with AI agent with a material resource planning. So our solution is a modular approach that covers most of the key elements when it comes to the ERP and when it comes to the material resource planning. So it's a low capital expenditure, and it's very low implementation time, and it's very easy to train your staff, and it's mobile responsive. With those things, any SME, any small scale manufacturer can easily adapt to this system using the latest AI and other trends. So that's where we want to give our solutions. I will explain a little bit how our AI agent is working and how our system will support. We mainly focusing on 4 sections. One is material decisions, second one is procurement decisions, third one is inventory decisions, fourth one is production decisions. Because most of the manufacturers are lacking on these areas. Most of them are using manual records or else spreadsheet to keep these records. So we need to digitize this process and give them some, alerts, automated process, utilization process, and research that the predictive forecast and demands using our iMake framework. That's what we need to do. For example, this is something like that. It's very easy, without having a lot of user interfaces and a lot of click and buttons and all. We can simply do that like this. So you can ask from your please make shampoo 100 milliliter, 1,000 bottles by March 30, just a few things. And the prediction can, the system can itself identify the requirement, and he can create a bill of material for the relevant product. And also it can create purchasing requisitions based on the previous records and the existing record set. And then we can confirm the generated procurement purchasing requisitions and the related data, clicking those hyperlinks. And then the system itself generate purchasing orders, and he will schedule the production plan as well. This is something we need to provide this to the SME market. So by using that, this is something bridging AI into the conventional typical system. So we will going to have a hybrid system model. We have the AI, we have the normal system. All together we can communicate with each other. So this is what we need to do, and it will improve your speed by 10x, and it will give you some more valuable man hours when it comes to the system implementation. And why now? Because most of these small medium manufacturers are increasingly prioritize their systems in solutions to more effective, more digitized process. So for the next, they need to prepare for their next generation management. Most of them are Gen Zs. So then they need to reduce human capital cost dependency, and they need to increase production efficiency, and they need to get decision based on data rather than getting experience or any manual record. They need to get decisions based on data. The areas now most of the SMEs are failing. So this is the high time to go digitize, adapt to the latest technologies, and convert the normal process into a digital process. So when it comes to the market size, even in Sri Lanka, we have a 9 billion market, because we have 1.3 million SMEs in Sri Lanka. 52% of them are contributing to the current GDP. Out of that, 16% of them are manufacturers. I just got those information from Small and Medium Development Authority in Sri Lanka. So, and it's a 1% of the IT budget. It can be increased substantially, because Sri Lanka is focusing on export market. So there's a huge business opportunity here. And when it comes to the global market set, the stats are same. 50% of them are developing economies, and all them are 50% of them are from SME market. So this is the market side compared to the Sri Lankan and global context. And we have some traction. Recently, we have started this company in 21st, and we were able to deliver solution for few of companies in Sri Lanka. All are manufacturers. They do shoe manufacturing, they do food manufacturing, they do MDF boards, they do cosmetics items. So we have worked with them companies to ease their manufacturing process. Some of them are using big ERPs like SAP and IFS, but still they are failing some areas. So we were able to deliver very efficient systems to manage their procurement process, material management process. So this is our financial status. We started with 4.6 million. Gradually, by 2x, we were able to come to 34 million this year. So we are hoping to increase this number to 65 million. So already we have closed deals within these 2 months. So we are in a good forecast even for this next.
Satura, I'm sorry to butt in, but we've run a little overtime. If you can
Sure.
wrap up.
Okay. Yeah, yes. Last slide. So this is our team. We have a bunch of IT people also know the manufacturing process. So this is our team. Yes, thank you. This is IMEC and this is Prologix.
Thank you so much. Let's open the floor for questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chatura-san. This is interesting field, especially manufacturing sector is always chaotic in some of the countries, and then consolidating all the dots is one of the biggest tasks. So you personally, like, what kind of strength and your team has to tackle these issues within the manufacturing, especially this is more material procurement, more like supply side of issues. So how you guys kind of building intellectual capitals, like in the values for the customers. That is the one question. And then one more question is like you mentioned 1.3 million SMEs in Sri Lanka, but who can be actual target customers? I think you, there are different type of manufacturers and small, medium, even like steel, you say shampoo as well, and coal. Like there are many manufacturers, and whether I'm curious how much your service is adaptable, and what are the kind of potential number of clients that you can acquire.
Yeah, for your first question, what I understanding is just we will give them a time, and when it comes to the adaptability, because most of the Gen Zs, Gen Alphas are coming into the businesses now, right? So they are more related to the systems, mobile responsive user interfaces, and they are more towards the digital platforms. But most of the companies are using very legacy systems. So we need to have a platform to train them well. I think most of the big brands are failing on that, and we need to give them adaptability, time, and the usability simplification when it comes to the process. That's what we are providing. And we are continuously, we have a training mechanism, not only for the software developments. We have a training mechanism for procurement, materials, productions. In terms of manufacturing, our team always, they getting trains, they go into the manufacturers, and they get the hand-on experience on those areas. So we know, we will understand, we will identify their pain points, and we will correct them on our procurement system, IMEX system. When it comes to the market size, yes, 1.3 million is the SME markup in Sri Lanka, but out of that, 20% of them are the manufacturers. So we can, mainly we are focusing on materials, procurement, inventory, and production. So mainly this can be applied to any segment, even the food, even the shoes, even the boards, even the electrical items, anything. If he's a small medium company, he's with very limited budget, and he need the system very fast. He need a implementation in very short period. So that's where we're going to pitch, because that's where the main lacking area. Because when it comes to the large manufacturing MRPs and ERPs, they want a lot of time, lot of team, lot of funds to do a digital transformation process. That's where we need to have our product when it comes to the SME market, even in Sri Lanka. But when considering the African market, Bangladesh, Malaysia, and other countries, there is a huge potential in this SME manufacturing arena.
You yourself has experience in this field before starting this business, or?
Yes, actually, I've started this business in 2012 as a freelancer. I have done several applications for manufacturers in Sri Lanka, big giant companies. There's a big company in Sri Lanka, manufacturing company. I have worked with Board of Investment BOI projects as well with the manufacturers. So that's how I identify the issues there. So I develop a material management, the procurement and all, and we have tested that with several companies. Then after we develop the system as a SaaS model, and we deploy to the several companies. When it comes even for our sales channel, if in terms of sales channels, we have a good word of mouth references from the existing companies. Always they are referring our company to some other manufacturer. Even the last month we got 2 deals from an existing customer. So that's how we expand our business in Sri Lanka. So still, I'm not focusing on other countries, but I'm trying to be there in next year.
Thank you.
Fantastic. We do have a little over a minute for any other questions.
So obviously Sri Lanka and its geographical location, maybe logistics side of business, like are you guys also expanding on that side, or is it just firmly on SMEs or on manufacturing?
Sorry, Basnet, I didn't hear properly.
So obviously, I mean, from a Japanese investor's point of view, like the location of Sri Lanka itself, like the geographical location, it's an ideal like logistics center, like point. And I was just wondering if it's just SME manufacturing SMEs that you're focused on, or do you plan to expand or scale to other like logistic companies who have like, for example, 3PL model or yeah, something like that as well?
Yes, exactly. Yes, because even in Sri Lanka, Demo is a big company, so they're using our system to the procurement process when it comes to the 3PL process. So we are planning to expand. We had to choose wisely because initially I'm not supposing to go to the Europe market because we need to have a market just like Sri Lankan market to get the references and experience. That's what we are thinking. Mainly the Bangladesh, African market, Maldives, Malaysia, and a few other APEC countries.
Understood. Thank you.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Chandra, for your presentation. Really appreciate you taking the time. And with that, let's move on to our final startup and pitch for the day. Let me quickly, Chandra, if you could, thank you. All right. Yeah, finally we have Samvad. It's a free mobile application that bridges communication gaps for Sri Lanka's deaf community by translating sign language into words using GIFs, enabling seamless interaction in Sinhalese and Tamil. With that, please take the stage.
So for Samvada, we have a recording ready. So we will be playing that recording.
People are different. People.
Shakir, it doesn't have sounds? Oh,
sorry, I'll share again.
Okay. Kasim said she will have share the streaming videos, video presentations about some other app. It was totally some other app. It was apps how to deaf people get benefit everything and how to use the deaf people some other. This Samvad is the presentation share.
Right. Is the audio?
I want to Mr. Sandun's English translate.
Okay. Shall I play the video?
You can go ahead.
Okay.
Different communication methods to convey messages to get their work done. When communicating, think and respond.
Can you all hear the audio?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Communication effective. People have different levels of listening, thinking, and responding capabilities. Some can't listen as others. Some can't think as others. Some can't respond as others due to their differences. If their capabilities of communication are equal, they may not encounter any difficulties in getting their work done. If people have significant differences in listening, subsequent thinking and responding processes will be affected. It may be critical at times. Therefore, by bridging the gap of significant differences in listening, which is the first barrier in communication processes, we can facilitate an effective communication between differently able communities. Sangwada, mobile application, which represents the meaning of effective communication in the Sinhala language, is the solution we developed as the pictorial bridge between different listening capabilities of people. Sangwada bridges the gap of understanding pictures and signs and translates them into words and sentences for people who need sound to listen to their own language. Sangwada helps to translate words and sentences into pictures and signs for the people who are experts in listening through signs. Therefore, Sangwada can bring balance and harmony for differently listening people. Sangwada is accessible for all and freely available at the following link and could be installed easily using its installation guidelines. Sangwada is presently capable to serve people who communicate in Sinhala language, and our team is working to release Tamil and English languages soon. Sangwada is looking forward to link through Google Translator or any best alternative to facilitate effective communication as well. With all the above, Sangwada is bridging differences in listening capabilities of differently able people. Respond promptly through effective communication. So please join us and say yes to building the Sangwada bridge across communities, across languages, and across the globe to listen, to think, and to respond effectively.
Fantastic. Thank you, Shakir, for sharing the video, and thank you so much, Sangwada, for the video as well. With that, we'll open the floors for questions.
Please support me the Sandhu.
මේ දැන් අපිට ප්‍රශ්නවලට ෆ්ලෝ එක ඕපන් කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ ප්‍රශ්න.
Okay.
So if anyone has any questions, I think Pasun will help.
Okay. I want to understand how many people are currently using the app, number one. And number two, because it is a social impact type app, does it require for the fund?
Kasun said,
you all are muted.
It's muted, ne? Okay, so the thing is, I'll also answer that question. I think currently we only have the Android application. You can see it on the Google Play Store as well. So it's been has downloads of around 1,K plus. So can quickly share it as well.
Kasun said two version is this app. In first version, using deaf people are 8,000 deaf people use this app. Second version, now version 15,000 use this app. The deaf people, deaf and normal people, no government people,
active
social
users.
Some deaf people. She can't. She not. Some deaf people's no technical knowledge is poor. It's not using this. Not yet using this apps to. Now, Kasun awareness programs. Some of the awareness programs started now. The schools and other deaf organizations.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for that. And how big is the team behind the app? How many people are working in the organization?
We are working. I am organization members. 400 members in our mother organization. Sri Lankan Deaf Organization, 25 deaf organization in the Sri Lanka, the deaf organization. All of this app, Kasun distribute this app in near the future. She said. Yeah, please take by using this app, we have created this. The 600,000 people in Sri Lanka can download it for the free without the service of the interpreter. All vocational training centers and schools are also using our app to help the deaf community and general public learn sign language. Currently, we have updated about 1,200,000 our apps. The automatic sign language software we have created design for the 6 lakh deaf peoples in Sri Lanka at the time mainly have only only the six professional Sri Lankan have professional 6 of professional sign language interpreter who are recorded by the who are the recognized by the 6 million in people of the deaf people. So this app being created to solve this problem. This to facilitate communication between the general community and deaf community.
Very good. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, I have a comment rather than a question. So there was this one startup that I worked with by connecting them with Real Madrid, and the founder himself always said that, especially these type of social responsibility startups is really hard to monetize because of the really limited market. But like by connecting them with these big companies and achieving these POCs small by small, it's going to be really good. So I hope that your app gets bigger and bigger.
Fantastic.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. Since in the interest of time, we'll wrap up the Q&A for now. But thank you so much for the lovely video and for taking the time for the Q&A session as well. So with that, to deliberate on the decisions, on the scoring, the judges will now break into separate rooms to discuss and to choose our winners for Kakehashi 2024. But in the meantime, we have a panel discussion arranged featuring two distinguished members of the Sri Lankan community in Japan, Kushani from a consultant from Deloitte, Japan, and also Nelaka from Striders Corporation. So they will be sharing their insights on the startup ecosystem in Japan. And I'd like to bring them both forward. Let me quickly share my screen so we can get on with it. All right. So Nelaka, as I introduced before, has been an advisor
Sorry,
to
Nimesh, sorry to
Yes.
interrupt. I think the judges have to go to the breakout room, right?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
working on it right now. We'll send them to the breakout room.
All good, right? Yeah. So while we do that, let me quickly introduce the two speakers at panel discussion. To get things started first, as I explained before, Nelak Hadrusingha, who's been an advisor to the SLPAJ and former president of the SLPAJ as well, and a key member of the Striders Global Investment Private Limited. He is the head of foreign operations. All right. And the director of Striders Global Investment Private Limited and the co-head of the investment committee for Planet 43. And also, we have here with us today Kushani Nuragoda, who's also been a huge part of the success that we've enjoyed so far at SLPAJ and Kakehashi. She is a consultant at Deloitte Japan who's been supporting the Japan ecosystem of startups and startups overseas in their entry into Japan. And I'll let you two get started. If you could, Shakir.
Yeah.
Is that, are we all good?
Yes, the breakout room is open. Mr. Sharad, can you join the breakout room? Yeah, apart from Sharad, everyone else has joined the breakout room.
I see.
Okay, so
Okay.
now all the judges are in the breakout room, finalizing
Right.
the results.
Fantastic. All right, Shakir. Thank you so much. And with that, just to get the ball rolling, I'm particularly not too knowledgeable in this space, but I did have a couple of questions that I wanted to put it out there. So especially since we're in this topic today, and we have a lot of members joining us from Sri Lanka and outside of Sri Lanka. One thing I wanted to talk about was the biggest challenges Sri Lankan startups face in general when trying to enter into Japan and the Japan market, and how they could potentially overcome it. And we'll start with Kushani.
Thank you, Nimesh. Yeah, thank you, Nimesh, for the introduction and for the question as well. So to start with about the hurdles that Japanese Sri Lankan companies facing when entering Japan. Yeah, so I listened to the pitching round, like previous pitches also from the Sri Lankan startups and also the today's startups, and from listening to them also, and also referring from my past experience with working with Sri Lankan companies. So I mean, to answer the question very quickly, I would say the lack of information about Japanese market is one big hurdle that Sri Lankan companies face. That is one. And then another thing is like Sri Lankan startups and basically Sri Lankan IT companies altogether, they have experience working in the Europe basically and also US, but Japanese culture is a little bit different from what from the Europe and US. So the lack of understanding about how, the Japanese business culture works altogether, that is another challenge the Sri Lankan companies face. The other thing is lack of connections. Like, for example, now with Kakehashi, also the reason we started with program is to, build that bridge, fill the gap between this two countries. So the lack of understanding about the culture as well as the connections with Japanese in terms of, when it comes to strategic partnership in business or in investment, like a capital or strategic partnership, the connection really matter in Japan. So the lack of that type of connections, the relationships is another problem. So to like give a quick brief answer also on that, right? Like how startups should like overcome these hurdles. So the easy answer would be to work with some expert, like like the consulting companies. Now even I was thinking about it, like myself and then Shakir, like most of us are coming from consulting companies, like, but why these are existing as well to help these companies, like basically potential clients. Then again, the important thing is a lot of people think when it comes to this consulting, it's very costly and like a lot of you have to spend a lot of money and all that, but that's not true actually. The thing is, like, there are a lot of other ways that that come into help in that case, like subsidy programs and grants and whatnot. So like the people like us, we are we are aware about these programs where the startups may not be aware. So that like one easy answer would be like have a close step with the kind of expert so that you get information and then whatever the other related support required. Yeah, that would be my short answer. Yeah, right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kishani. I guess with that, piggybacking off of that, I think we can go into maybe the next topic of conversation that I'd like to start as well. Perhaps the best ways for Sri Lankan startups to build credibility with investors, especially in Japan. Nelak, if you could take this.
Yeah, I think for that one, just the startup is difficult to create the credibility. I think it as a ecosystem as a whole, we need to build up the credibility. So, for example, if you want to approach investors, the ultimate end goal of a investor is to make money, to make profits at the exit. So then the problem comes with the exit. What do we have in terms of startup exits in Sri Lanka? So we have had good examples recent past, like WS2 getting picked up by EQT, PicMe going for an IPO, and then another Web3 company getting acquired by a European Singaporean company. So like the last, I would say 12 months, there have been some good news coming out of Sri Lanka with regard to exits. When the other countries like India, in Indonesia, especially Indonesia, Southeast Asia is struggling with exits. We have had three good exits for the last 12 to 18 months. So that the next point is, like, we need to leverage on these exits and create a awareness among the investors or the community. That's what we have been doing as investors, Japanese investors coming into Sri Lanka. We have invested in Sri Lankan tech companies since 2018, Row Global, Cultivate, My Dentist, different companies. Even now, Gendo might come into us. Likewise, so I think it's about creating awareness. Companies should do their own homework in terms of building up the credibility, being more compliant with the rule governance side of the things. Because for Sri Lankan companies, governance has been one of the biggest issues, mainly because of the lack of capital. The same founder goes and do several other businesses trying to make money for the startup, and then lose the focus, and then the governance, they consider the pocket for all five companies is just one pocket, which is not the case. So likewise, you have to build up the fundamentals of a startup, and also the founders need to go out of their comfort zone, which is Sri Lanka, and start thinking globally and approaching global investors. There are plenty of events happening in the region. For example, the Singapore FinTech Festival is one of the largest things happening right now. Sushi Tech is being done in Tokyo, which is very good platform for Japan inbound startups. And I personally do a deep tech accelerator. That's another one. So likewise, if you can do all these things properly by the companies itself as well as an industry itself, as
programs that's specific to things like generative AI in Japan. So I hope there are many. So is there any part?
Yeah, maybe I'll quickly answer that question. Yeah. So, Aruna, so the there's no kind of simple answer also for that, but it's important that you also keep your, antenna directed to the programs happening in Japan. But most of the programs recently, the AI is one of the focus areas, quantum and AI and all that. So one good way is to look at stay, like connected on the LinkedIn, for example, with Tokyo Metropolitan Government sponsored programs, because Tokyo Metropolitan Government recently in a kind of very ambitious journey to become the kind of startup hub of Asia by 2040. It's a like ambitious goal, but to achieve that, they are recently like putting a lot of money in the startup ecosystem building in Tokyo, whereas they equally look at Japanese startups and also foreign startups, attracting foreign companies. So to actually Sushi take this, I did not deliberately put it, but it's there on my Zoom screen. I'm using the office PC. So Sushi Tech is one, for example, program where you can join a pitch competition, which also has a good prize money if you win it, and also you can kind of exhibit as well. So that is one, and also there are many other programs, like to name a few, maybe Tokyo Consortium. It is one, and then X-Hub program. In addition to Tokyo Metropolitan Government, also like frequently check JETRO and JICA home pages, because they also have a lot of inbound related programs. Right now, the one is Ninja. Ninja is new innovation with Japan, something like that. The short form is Ninja. So they recently completed one program with Indonesia. Right now the focus is Africa, but they are, like it's rotation is going on. So JICA, JETRO, TNG are very crucial at this time, but it's not only. There are like accelerator funded or operated by accelerators, and there are very many kind of industry related programs as well, like the Minka, what you call the company corporates run. But the big part will be government run, like TMG, JICA, JETRO. Those are important. Nelaka, maybe you can add something.
yeah, I think you covered most of the things. There are in terms of private sector, there are many platforms. I think right today there was another startup World Cup being announced in Sri Lanka together with the Japanese party. So that's a very good platform for Sri Lankan companies. And then there are other accelerators, like my accelerator is mainly for deep tech stuff. So there's another that we are helping them to come into Japan. And then there are companies like Plug and Play, the 500 startups. They all have programs, so you can follow up.
All right.
So I have one question apart from the accelerator programs, is there any option to get strategic partnerships, like taking the expert knowledge and changing our core to some Japan related market and go with the active investment type of thing, like strategic partnership? I'm not talking the funding. I'm just trying to strategic partnership program. Is there any option
I think for strategic partnership, you have to start with an accelerator, because you can't just go out of the blue and talk to a company and say, okay, let's do something. They won't take your company in. So you have to go with an accelerator. So the accelerator will mentor you for 6-7 months, take you through the processes, and then tell what's best for your company in terms of the growth, exit, what's best for the Japanese market, stuff like that. So there's a soft landing into Japan, and then the accelerator itself might find you the right partners, and then you can go for more strategic perspectives from there onwards.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to break into Japanese market. But then you have to understand accelerators are not free. You either for some accelerators you might have to pay upfront and do, or else they will tell, okay, you be with us for 1 year, and if the accelerator provides you an investment through one of their network, you will have to pay a certain money out of that investment that you get, or give them sweat shares. So there are different ways. So it's always it's something that you have to think about. What's the right approach for your company at the right stage?
Thank you.
Yeah, just to quickly add to that, as Delaka mentioned, there are of course some programs you need to pay by yourself, but most of the government initiated programs are kind of like they spend the money. You might have to have a JV or like partner with a Japanese SME, for example, but mostly the money comes from the government side. So that's the good about that. So yeah, that I wanted to add to that. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to the both of you. But in the interest of time, I believe the judges are back with us after deliberation, but thought we'd take a quick couple of minutes just to hear back from each of the judges without giving anything big away, anything too crucial away. Just an overall feeling, just to, if you could share your opinions about today, about the startups, maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute. Maybe we could start with Sharat.
Yeah, so I think firstly, thank you again. Everyone presented amazingly well. And I think there's been a lot of homework done in previous rounds to then fine tune this through to the top candidates. I can already see some applications in our own businesses where we'd like to meet and speak to some of the people a bit more, and we'll reach out through the association shortly. But overall, great presentation. It's always nice to be a part of these things, and everyone should be extremely proud of themselves. So thank you again.
Thank you so much, Harad. Asan, if you don't mind.
Yeah, as Shad mentioned, that was an excellent event, and all the candidates, they have interesting and innovative ideas. I think one takeaway for all the candidates and what the judges actually spoke about is scalability and how to scale their products outside Sri Lanka. And that's, I think, a challenge that all Sri Lankan IT companies or tech companies face, and particularly startups, and how you can get about that. That'll be, I guess, key to success for a lot of the startups.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Asan. Hirayama-san.
Yeah, thanks again. It's always interesting to see the new business, especially from Sri Lanka. All the participants making at least some revenues, which is very admirable. I really appreciate the new kind of business innovations from there. I think I think the problem, the always issue challenge is competitions versus application to other countries, and I think only one startup sometimes are struggling to do so. Finding the right partners, right stakeholders, who can commit for you, and also you can commit for them. Making this kind of Kakehashi is really critical. Even big corporates, mega banks, mega corporates have to find good partnerships to make a new business at this very chaotic eras. So please find yourself to find a good positions, and then please expand to not only Japan but also any other country, so that I can also happy to be involved as well. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hirayama-san. And finally, Basnet, if you have a few words.
Thank you for the association for having us again. It was one of my first times actually listening to Sri Lankan startups pitch to me, and it was kind of refreshing to hear that. I mean, I guess like looking at your hungry mentality, you guys want to expand overseas, grow, consolidate within Japan, within Sri Lanka as well. And if any of you are planning to find maybe, let's say, partners, or I mean, I did mention a few in the comments that I made, for example, Logic, etc. We'll be more than happy to provide a platform for like POCs, if possible. So we'll reach out to you guys, and hopefully it can bring something meaningful to both parties. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right. I guess we've kept you guys waiting long enough. So thank you so much for again for being here with us today. And before we do finally announce our first runner-up and our winner for Kakehashi, I want to take a quick minute to thank all the startups who've been here with us today and throughout this journey for their hard work and the dedication, and your efforts and innovative ideas have truly been excellent. And you should I hope all of you are very proud of everything that you're achieving and in the process of achieving so far, and what you've accomplished up until this point. So, and I guess this is just the beginning of what could potentially be in the long run. So hopefully we can use this as a platform for what comes next. But without much further ado, let me quickly share my screen. All right. All right. Our first runners up. Again, thank you so much for being here with us today to get the ball rolling. To introduce and to announce our first runner up after much deliberation. It's Syntax Genie. Fantastic. Again, a fantastic presentation. I'm sure this is probably just the beginning for a lot of you, but fantastic presentation, fantastic pitch. I myself wasn't really appreciate the time that you put into this. But if any of the judges have a quick comment, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to share more. I actually mentioned to the other judges as well that I do have a few clients who are in the energy business and are looking to expand in South Asia as well. And with your technology, I would love to learn more as well. And hopefully, yeah, we can connect in the future. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Basnet. All right. And now the winner of
I take a quick minute to
sorry, sorry.
Thanks, all the judges. Really appreciate the recognition, and would definitely love to follow up and then see how we can work together. And yeah, thanks again. Thanks, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the time and effort. All right. Again, finally to announce our winner for this year's Kakehashi from SLPAJ. I wish I could hear a round of applause or a little something to warm me up. It's ProLogic's Chatura, congratulations for being the winner of this year's Kakehashi event. Perhaps we could hear from you first.
Yeah, it's a great honor to me. Actually, this is my first time I'm putting a pitch because last 3 years I spent my whole time to develop this company. I bootstrapped this thing. Then I scale up my company to 25 people. Now I have to look after 25 developers in here. And I have to able to deliver sort of lot of application to Sri Lankan market. I gain a lot of experience from there. Now I need to grow abroad and put earn some dollars to Sri Lankan market. That's what I'm trying to do. It's really I didn't expected this thing, but I'm really happy to see my logo and my company as a winner in this program.
Fantastic, Chatura. Thank you so much.
Us and give a lot of mentoring to us, and I'm really appreciate. I will definitely try to catch you all through LinkedIn. I will put messages. I need a lot of support to get my knowledge to the next level. So I'm really happy to work with you guys. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you again, Chatura, and congratulations to you and the team back in Sri Lanka. But do we have any final comments from any of the judges again? A quick comment or two.
Just a quick thank you again to everyone and Jatura and the team. Well done, and look forward to learning more as your journey continues. And thanks again to everyone for having us from all the judges, I'm sure. Thank you again.
Fantastic. All right. I know we've kept you here for long enough. We were supposed to wrap up at 4, but we'll probably go over by 30 seconds to 1 minute. But thank you so much, and a huge congratulations, Chatura. What a fantastic event it has been so far. But hopefully this sets the stage for something bigger, something greater going forward for both SLPAJ and for the startups and investors. To wrap up today's event, I'd like to invite the Secretary of SLPAJ, Shakir Hussain, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Nimesh. Hello, everyone. My name is Shakir, the project lead for Kakehashi 2024. So as we wind up Kakehashi 2024, I would like to share my appreciation and gratitude to everyone who contributed to make this event a success. So Kakehashi is the flagship project of SLPAJ, and it is a project that requires a lot of support from various parties. Without their support, this project would not have been possible. First of all, we want to start by thanking our distinguished guest of honor, Ms. Sesa Tambugala, Charge d'Affaires, Sri Lankan Embassy. Despite being extremely busy with her work at the embassy right now, she has always given us her time and support to make this event a success by connecting us with various government agencies and also spreading the word of Kakehashi to many delegations that visited the embassy. Dear Ms. Sesa, thank you for all the support you have given us through this journey. Next, I would like to share my gratitude to our judges today, the respected judges, Mr. Sharad Sridharan, Mr. Asanta Sebastian, Mr. Ray Hirayama, and Mr. Basna Chetri Pradyot. We wish to express our gratitude for your valuable time and expertise as the judges for this finals today. We would like to thank our support partners for the program, starting off with Mr. Hiroki Oisan from Jetro Kalambu. He's here today, and sadly, his microphone is not available for him to give a small speech, but he shares his regards to everyone. So thank you for joining us today, Mr. Sachindra Samaratna and the team from ICT Spiralation, Ms. Eshni Samarasekara and the team from SLASCOM, Mr. Sankalpa Gamwarige and the team at Trace, Mr. Vimukti Rahal from Mora Ventures, Mr. Kalinga Gunawardana from UVA Startup Hub, and Mr. Nilanka from NIBM Candy Startup Hub, without whom Kakehashi would not be able to be at the scale it is today, for introducing the best startups in Sri Lanka and for sharing the Kakehashi program with their ecosystem. We are truly grateful for the collaboration and support. Mr. Chalinda Abekon from N Ventures for his amazing workshop given at the start of the program to all the startups. We are grateful for all the work he has put into improving the Sri Lankan startup ecosystem. Our dear preliminary round judges and panelists for today, Kushani Narangoda and Nelaka Haturusinghe, for providing us with great guidance and in organizing the event, joining us as judges for the preliminary rounds, and finally to share their expertise in the panel discussion today. We would also like to thank the attendees, participants, applicants, and the finalists for being a part of Kakehashi 2024. The participants put in a lot of work to refine their pitch deck and gave their best to prepare for the program. We wish all the best for the Kakehashi participants and wish them all the success with their startups. Kakehashi had the support of many mentors, guest speakers, resource persons, stakeholders, and volunteers who have contributed immensely. Without their support, this event would have not been possible. Due to time, I'll just name a few of them. I would like to thank Professor Monte Kasim, for he is the one who planted the idea of this event, for planting the seed for this event. Further, I would like to thank the founding organizers, Sherwin Fernando and Saida Anwar, for laying the foundation for Kakehashi, which has now been going on for the 3rd edition. And I would like to thank Arus Kiabdin for scaling the event and carrying the event forward for the 2nd edition onwards. Next, I would like to thank Dilaka Haturusinghe, the president of SLPAJ, for being heavily involved in making this event true success, increasing the network of Kakehashi and help us gain the support of multiple support partners. Not least, my heartfelt gratitude goes to organizing committee, Shashi Prabha from SLPAJ, then Nimesh, and also the SLPAJ committee members for your relentless dedication and hard work are very much appreciated. Thank you. And thank you all for being a part of Kakehashi 2024. And that's it from me. Nimesh, it's on to you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Shakir, for taking the time today. And again, a huge thank you to everyone who's spent 2+ hours with us. And with that, let's join in to congratulate the winners of this year's Kakehashi one more time, to Chatura and the team. And let's wrap up for the day. Fantastic. Thank you so much again, guys, for joining. Have a lovely evening/afternoon. Let's Oisan. All right, must have been a mistake. All right, thank you guys again for participating and for all your efforts. Let's see you again soon. Thank you so much.